on to some serious heat. Ilia Topuria is officially done playing nice with the rest of the roster. If you haven't been following the drama, Arman Tsarukyan recently made the mistake of poking the bear, and boy did Topuria fire back. We're seeing a version of El Matador that's more aggressive than ever before. He went off on Arman in his latest comments, claiming the lightweight contender is just desperate for a payday and some social media clout. Ilia didn't just shut down the talk. He basically said Arman shot himself in the foot by even trying to act like they're on the same level. According to the champ, there's a massive gap in skill, and he's not even looking at the 155-pound division until he's completely cleared out his own backyard at featherweight. It's a bold move, but that's the Topuria we've come to expect. He's not just confident, he's totally dismissive. He's treating one of the scariest guys in the UFC like he's just another face in the crowd, and we can't wait to see if these two ever actually settle it in the cage. It's the kind of ego that either makes you a legend or sets you up for a massive fall. But that's not even the biggest blow-up of the week. We have to talk about Sean Strickland, because honestly, when is he not in the headlines? This time, he's not targeting another fighter. He's going straight for the top G himself. Sean Strickland absolutely destroyed Andrew Tate in a recent rant that's gone viral across every platform. We know Sean's filter just doesn't exist, and he used every bit of that honesty to rip into Tate's lifestyle and his influence on the younger generation. Sean basically axed any idea of Tate being a role model, calling his whole persona a total scam. It was a brutal, unfiltered takedown. Sean's been on a warpath lately, and seeing him clash with a massive internet personality like Tate is the exact kind of chaos we live for. He didn't just disagree, he dismantled the guy's entire brand in minutes. It's clear Sean doesn't care about the followers or the fame. He's just going to say what he feels, and right now, Andrew Tate is firmly in his crosshairs. We're left wondering if Tate's even going to respond, or if he knows he's totally outmatched in a war of words with a guy who literally has nothing to lose.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. We've got some absolute madness to break down today. At the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event on Friday night, former UFC heavyweight king Andrei Arlovski didn't just show up for the fights. He ended up in a massive physical altercation with popular streamer Jack Doherty and his whole group. This wasn't just some minor trash talk. Things got heated fast, and the footage is already exploding across social media, showing a tense confrontation that almost turned into a full-blown riot. Witnesses say the scene was pure chaos. There was constant shouting and multiple people trying to separate the two sides before security finally intervened. In the video, Arlovski looks visibly frustrated. He's clearly reached his boiling point, while others are screaming for everyone to just calm down and move away. Security eventually had to step in and escort Doherty and his crew out of the building to stop things from getting even uglier. Arlovski didn't stay quiet for long, though. He actually fired back at the viral clips by expressing major regret, saying he's sorry and acknowledging his behavior wasn't how a professional athlete should act. He's taking full accountability for his role in the mess. But Jack Doherty? He's singing a completely different tune. Doherty went off on X to share his side of the story. He claims he was just walking by when Arlovski allegedly tried to kick him for no reason at all. He's insisting he didn't instigate a thing and feels like he's being unfairly blamed because of his age and his online persona. He's basically saying the public is biased and just wants to point fingers at him because he's an easy target. Before we jump into the next story, do us a small favor. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Now moving on, UFC heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall was definitely not impressed by the Paul vs. Joshua bout. He gave a blunt assessment, saying it didn't live up to the hype and unfolded exactly like he thought it would. He thinks these matchups are just becoming unrealistic. But that's nothing compared to Ilia Topuria firing shots at Arman Tsarukyan or Sean Strickland absolutely destroying Andrew Tate.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. We've got a massive show for you today, so let's dive right into the madness. At the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event this past Friday, things turned ugly outside the ring. Former UFC heavyweight king Andrei Arlovski was caught in a wild physical altercation with that streamer Jack Doherty and his entire group. We saw the footage surfacing on social media, and it's honestly chaotic. The pitbull looked absolutely fed up as security rushed in to stop things from escalating even further. Arlovski didn't just stay silent, though. He actually came out and took full accountability. He said he was sorry and admitted that he didn't act like a professional athlete should. But Doherty, he's firing back hard. He went off on X, claiming that Arlovski tried to kick him for absolutely no reason while he was just walking by. He's saying people are biased against him because of his age and his money, but he's insisting that he didn't do a thing to start the fight. It's a total he said, she said situation that's got the community talking. Moving on, Tom Aspinall was not impressed by the Paul versus Joshua fight. While everyone else was hyping it up, the interim heavyweight champ was basically falling asleep. He gave a blunt assessment, saying the whole thing was just boring. Tom didn't hold back. He said it unfolded exactly how he predicted and lacked any real excitement or wow factor. He's making it clear that we shouldn't expect him to be buying a ticket for the rematch. It's clear Tom only cares about elite levels. And we can't ignore the heat between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan. Ilia just fired back at Arman, basically saying he axed any chance of a friendship. It's getting nasty fast. Plus, Sean Strickland just absolutely destroyed Andrew Tate in a new rant. Sean didn't just critique him, he went off on his entire lifestyle, calling it a total sham. Sean's literally shooting from the hip, and honestly, he might have shot himself in the foot with those comments. Before we go, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Thanks for watching us.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. We've got a massive show for you today, and trust us, you aren't going to want to miss this. First up, the featherweight king, Ilia Topuria, just absolutely fired back at Arman Tsarukyan. After Arman did some talking, Ilia didn't just respond, he went off, basically telling Arman to stay in his lane before he gets hurt. It's getting personal, and the tension between these two is officially at a boiling point. But that's nothing compared to Sean Strickland, who just completely destroyed Andrew Tate in a viral rant. Sean didn't hold back a single word, calling out Tate's entire persona and basically dismantling his influence. It was a verbal beatdown that only Sean could deliver. He didn't just disagree, he dismantled him. Now, we have to talk about the absolute chaos at the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event on Friday night. Former UFC heavyweight champ Andrei Arlovski was involved in a physical altercation with popular streamer Jack Doherty and his group. The footage surfaced on social media, and things look incredibly tense. Security had to dive in before it escalated into a full-blown riot. Witnesses described the scene as pure chaos, with Arlovski looking visibly frustrated while everyone else was screaming for calm. Following the mess, Arlovski actually took accountability, saying he's sorry and acknowledging his behavior wasn't professional. He basically admitted he shot himself in the foot by losing his cool. But Doherty, he's telling a different story. He claims Arlovski tried to kick him without any provocation. Doherty's complaining that he's an easy target because of his age and money, but the fans aren't really buying it. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall wasn't impressed by the Paul Joshua fight at all. He offered a blunt assessment, saying it lacked excitement and was totally unrealistic. He's got zero interest in seeing that kind of matchup again, and honestly, we can't blame him. Finally, for our UFC roster watch sudden cuts. The promotion just axed several fighters in a move that shocked the community. It's getting cutthroat out there. If you're enjoying the updates, do us a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. We've got a massive show for you today because the fight world is officially melting down. We have to start with the absolute chaos that went down at the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event on Friday night. Former UFC heavyweight champ Andrei Arlovski didn't just watch the fights, he nearly started one of his own. He was caught in a wild physical altercation with that streamer Jack Doherty and his crew. Video footage shows a super tense confrontation that almost turned into a full-blown riot before security finally intervened. Witnesses say it was pure insanity, just shouting and bodies flying everywhere. Arlovski looked visibly frustrated in the clips, but he's already come out and expressed some serious regret. He basically admitted he shot himself in the foot by not acting like a professional athlete should. But Doherty, he's going off on X, claiming Arlovski tried to kick him for absolutely no reason as he walked by. He's telling fans not to be biased just because of his online persona, but the MMA community isn't buying it. Before we jump into the next story, do us a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss a beat. Now, Tom Aspinall is weighing in on that Paul Joshua fight, and he wasn't impressed one bit. He gave a blunt assessment, saying the whole thing lacked excitement and went exactly how he predicted. He's over the crossover hype, and he's not the only one firing shots. Ilia Topuria just fired back at Arman Tsarukyan, and he basically axed any chance of a respectful rivalry by calling him a nobody who doesn't belong in the same breath as a champion.
Topuria's confidence is through the roof, and he's making it clear he's the king of the mountain. And we can't forget Sean Strickland, who just absolutely destroyed Andrew Tate in a new rant. Sean didn't just disagree with Tate, he went off on his entire lifestyle, calling him a fraud and a con artist. It was brutal, even by Sean's standards. Finally, the big update on Conor McGregor's return. We're hearing that the UFC is finally locking in a 2025 return date. The Mac is back in the gym, and the contract is moving. Stay tuned.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. We've got a massive show for you today because the lightweight division is absolutely on fire. And honestly, things are getting personal. First up, we have to talk about Ilia Topuria. The featherweight king didn't just ignore the noise from the division above. He fired back at Arman Tsarukyan with some serious heat. Arman's been running his mouth about being the next in line for Islam Makhachev, but Ilia isn't having any of it. He's basically told Arman to sit down and realize who the real star in this game is. It's a classic case of two lions fighting over the same territory, but Ilia's confidence is on another level right now. He's making it clear that if Arman wants to talk, he better be ready to back it up. But speaking of Islam Makhachev's next challenger, that's where things get really interesting. Arman's the guy, right? He's the #1 contender, but has he shot himself in the foot? He's been so focused on trash-talking everyone from Topuria to the rest of the top 5 that some fans are wondering if he's losing focus on the mountain he actually has to climb, and that mountain is Islam. We know Islam is looking for a real challenge, and while Arman's technical skills are elite, his mouth might be writing checks his chin can't cash against the PFP king. We're all waiting for that official date, but the tension is already at a breaking point. And we can't ignore the chaos outside the cage. At the Jake Paul event on Friday night, former heavyweight champ Andrei Arlovski went off on popular streamer Jack Doherty. We've seen the footage. Things got chaotic fast. Doherty claims Arlovski tried to kick him for no reason, but Arlovski actually took accountability, saying his behavior wasn't professional. It's a weird look for a legend, but Doherty's reputation doesn't exactly give him the benefit of the doubt with us. Even Tom Aspinall weighed in on the event, and he wasn't impressed either. He blunt force axed the idea of these crossover fights, calling the Jake Paul bout exactly what he expected, a letdown. Finally, Sean Strickland, man, he didn't just disagree with Andrew Tate, he absolutely destroyed him. Sean went off in a massive rant, calling out Tate's entire top G persona and questioning his influence. It's wild seeing Sean become the voice of reason, but he didn't hold back a single punch. Before we head out, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you never miss an update. We'll see you next one.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. At the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event on Friday night, things got absolutely mental. Former UFC heavyweight king Andrei Arlovski didn't just watch the fights, he ended up in a massive physical altercation with streamer Jack Doherty and his entire crew. We're talking a full-blown confrontation that nearly turned into a riot before security intervened. Arlovski looks visibly frustrated in the clips, and honestly, we don't blame him. He's since come out and apologized, saying he shot himself in the foot by acting unprofessional. But Doherty isn't letting it go. He's claiming Arlovski tried to kick him for no reason. Doherty went off on X, saying he's an easy target because of his success. Give us a break, Jack. The footage shows a very different story. While that was popping off, Tom Aspinall was busy being totally unimpressed. He called the Paul Joshua bout a total dud and said it unfolded exactly as he predicted. He's not looking for a rematch, he's looking for real legacy. But the real fireworks are happening elsewhere. Sean Strickland just absolutely destroyed Andrew Tate in a viral rant. Sean didn't just disagree with him, he went off on Tate's entire lifestyle, calling him a fraud who preys on weak men. It was a verbal beatdown that only Sean could deliver, and it's got the whole internet picking sides. And we can't forget the featherweight champ. Ilia Topuria just fired back at Arman Tsarukyan after some serious trash talk. Arman's been chirping about moving up or down to face him, but Topuria basically told him he's irrelevant and needs to stay in his lane before he gets hurt. The tension between these two is reaching a boiling point, and we're here for it. But let's talk about the man of the hour, Chael Sonnen. The bad guy just dropped a bombshell, predicting a massive upset that's going to shock the world this weekend. Chael's not just guessing, he thinks the favorite has already lost the mental battle. He says the champ has basically axed his own chances by looking past this fight. Before we get into Chael's full breakdown, do us a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now Chael thinks the underdog is about to ruin everyone's parlay, and we think he might be right.